Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Three news stories. Breaking news is from Addis Ababa, where Tigray leaders have held a meeting with Ethiopian Prime Minister PM Abiy. Secondly, US Embassy in Addis Ababa has released a statement about civilian deaths in the Amhara region. In a city in the Amhara region, dozens of civilians were massacred, allegedly by security forces, in house to house search operation a few days ago. Thirdly, Awdal zone, Somaliland. Awdal state self proclaimed leader was in Mogadishu yesterday. He was warmly welcomed there. What happened? Oh, he asked Somalia's government to take action on some issues. What did he say? Why is that Somalia invited Odal state leader Dr. Ali Ibrahim? Why was he there in Mogadishu? Firstly, we was Tigray, Addis Ababa tensions hopefully are going to be diffused. We have seen in the past 1 week or so some very strong statements from Ethiopian federal government and Tigray interim government. Both issued strong statements. A war of words was witnessed between Tigray region and Ethiopian federal government. Tigray accused the federal government of dragging its feet in implementation of Pretoria deal. Tigray said people are dying of hunger in Tigray. There could be a large-scale famine in Tigray, worse than 1985 famine, and that the federal government should fulfill its responsibility. TPLF issued a statement. Tigray interim government issued a statement. Then came a stronger statement from the federal government about implementation of Pretoria deal. Federal government said it was doing what it was in a position to do. It had given 37 billion birrs to Tigray interim government, and that there was no famine in Tigray. There's only drought in Tigray. Drought is not something new. Droughts happening in Ethiopia for decades. So that is why Tigray leaders should not use the issue of drought for political purposes. PM Abiy also accused Tigray leaders indirectly of using the issue of drought for political purposes. So tensions were running high and now de-escalation. It was good to see Tigray leaders in Addis Ababa today. Gata Choreda was there, Debretsion Gebremichael was there, Tadase Varede was there, Sadkan was there. All held meetings with PM Abiy. PM Abiy was accompanied by ministers. Abraham Bale was the Minister of Defense and other ministers as well. Discussions were held obviously about humanitarian situation, about the ongoing drought, about implementation of Pretoria deal. No big decisions are expected, but at least this engagement should be welcomed because the two sides were issuing very strong statements. It was being feared that this atmosphere of tension could become serious. So it was good to see the two sides sit. But main issues are unresolved. Issues like return of IDPs, issues like determination of future status of Amhara Volka, Sag, the Raya, Koram, Alamata. No agreement. Federal government wants a referendum in disputed territories. Tigray is rejecting the idea of referendum. IDPs return not starting. Federal government says legitimate IDPs are returning. They have returned. They'll return to their homes. Tigray says all IDPs are legitimate, and use of this term legitimate is it should be avoided. So serious issues, but Tigray leaders were in Addis Ababa today. Meetings held. Let's see. We don't know What happened at the meeting? Ethiopian PM office confirmed the meeting with Tigray leaders. What was agreed, we don't know. In coming days, we'll see. Maybe government will announce more aid, more assistance for Tigray, for drought-hit areas of Tigray. What about unresolved issues like future status of disputed territories, return of IDPs, and attempt by PP to infiltrate Tigray? This is also one of major issues. Restoration of TPLF status as a political party. So let's see, has any progress been made on all these issues? We'll see in coming days. Secondly, viewers, US Embassy in Addis Ababa has issued a statement about the massacre of civilians which happened in Merawi. Merawi is in Gujum. Merawi is in the Amhara region of Ethiopia, and there, more than a week ago, dozens of civilians were killed in an attack by security forces. Security forces conducted house-to-house search operation. Before that, there was fighting between Fano and military in Merawi. Fano retreated and military launched a house-to-house search operation. Dozens of people were arrested and several of them were found dead. Later, they were shot dead reportedly. Dead bodies were found on the streets of Merawi. That is why human rights organizations, international media are covering this issue, and they are saying that military intentionally killed civilians because civilians were suspected of having links with Fano fighters. The military wants to terrorize the people of the Amhara region. That is why Ethiopian US Embassy in Ethiopia issued a statement today. US Ambassador to Ethiopia, Arvind Masinga, has issued the statement. Arvind Masinga says that US government is deeply concerned by reports of targeting of civilians and civilian killings in Merawi. We call for access to human rights monitors to the Amhara region. They should be given access to the Amhara region. Independent investigation should be conducted. Dialogue is solution. Violence is not solution. So, US Embassy is issuing a statement about an Ethiopian internal matter. Ethiopia has never issued a statement about deaths in US, about US politics, about US political issues, about US military operations abroad as well. But US is now so involved in Ethiopia, in Ethiopian politics, that it is clearly accusing the military that military killed civilians in Merawi, Amhara region of Ethiopia. Lastly, viewers, Awdal zone of Somaliland. Ethiopia wants to gain access to the sea through Somaliland, through Awdal zone. In Awdal, there is Lohaya, where Ethiopia intends to establish a naval base. Somalia is backing groups in Awdal. Awdal state self-proclaimed leader was in Mogadishu yesterday. His name is Ali Ibrahim. He was warmly welcomed in Mogadishu. He arrived by air in Mogadishu. And Mogadishu government, Somali government officials welcomed him with open arms. Ali Ibrahim spoke there in Mogadishu. He said that he asked Somalia's government, federal government, to recognize Awdal state as a federal member state. That Awdal wants to be a separate regional state, part of Somalia. So Awdal state leader is taking a unionist approach. He wants his state to be part of Somalia, but as an independent regional state, like Puntland, like Southwest state, etc. Somalia and SSC Khatomo has also been calling, has been making similar calls. It wants SSC Khatomo controlled areas to be recognized as a federal member state. Somaliland has been in control of these territories, still in control of Awdal. But SSC Khatomo areas, control areas are not under Somaliland administration. Somalia has not recognized SSC Khatomo control area as a federal member state. It has not recognized Awdal state as a federal member state. Let's see what happens. But if tensions rise between Ethiopia and Somalia, and Ethiopia starts implementing the MOU, maybe Somalia could recognize Awdal state as a federal member state. If it happens, then Somalia might send its forces to Awdal state. Though Awdal does not share border with Somalia, it shares border with Djibouti. It shares border with Ethiopia. It shares border. It has a coast as well. So only by sea or by air troops can be sent to Awdal.